Alright, what's up guys? In today's video, we will be discussing how to lose 2 pounds of fat per week, okay? I've been bodybuilding for 8 years. I've done multiple bulk and cut cycles. I've been as heavy as 200 pounds, 25% body fat, and as lean as 160 pounds, about 7% body fat, okay? So here's everything I learned. And we'll pretty much be discussing the training and routine I followed and the diet I followed to go from to help me lose 40 pounds of fat in 13 weeks. All right, so step one, in order to lose 2 pounds of fat every single week, you first need to know what your maintenance calories are, okay? And you find your maintenance calories. For those of you who don't know, your maintenance calories are the amount of calories you need to eat to maintain your body weight, okay? And if you find your maintenance calories, you want to go on Google and you want to search TDEE calculator, okay? And you go to that calculator, you enter in the information it requests of you. Most of the information it requests of you primarily pertains to your activity level, so like how many steps you take a day. So you enter in the information it requests of you, and it'll give you an approximate maintenance calories. Okay, so for the purposes of this video, let's assume that everyone who's watching this has a maintenance calories, who has a daily maintenance calories at 3,000 calories every single day. Okay, that means in order to maintain their body weight, you need to eat 3,000 calories every single day. Okay, if you eat below 3,000 calories a day, you'll lose weight. If you eat above 3,000 calories a day, you'll gain weight. Okay, so in order to lose 2 pounds of fat every week, you need to eat in a 1,000 calorie deficit every single day. Okay, and so there's 3,500 calories in a pound. So if you eat in a 1,000 calorie deficit, that means you'll lose 7,000 pounds in a week, and 7,000 pounds or 7,000 calories is equal to 2 pounds of fat. Okay, so you want to eat in a 1,000 calorie deficit every single day. All right. So for all intents and purposes, that means if your maintenance calories are 3,000 calories, you want to be eating 2,000 calories every single day. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, okay, well, 2,000 calories, that's not a lot of food. Well, it's actually not too bad, okay? So what you want to do is you want to eat satiating foods to help control your hunger, okay? Eating satiating foods on a diet, especially on a diet in which you're losing 2 pounds of fat every single week, you want to eat satiating foods because they're going to be more filling. They're going to fill you up more. You're going to feel more full after eating a meal, okay? So what you want to do is you want to eat high protein foods, okay? Now, high protein foods include chicken breast, ground beef, ground turkey. I recommend 93.7 or higher. Fish, for fish, I recommend tilapia, pink salmon, cod, flounder, tuna. I also recommend beef liver, Greek yogurt, eggs, egg whites. Those are all high protein, satiating foods. What's beneficial about all those proteins I just listed off is that they're very high protein and they're, for the most part, very lean. Okay, so that means that they're high protein but pretty low calorie. Okay. Um, Now, also, what I do is I eat lots of vegetables. I eat lots of vegetables because A, they're very healthy, but B, they're very satiating. They make you very full. So what I like to do is, with every meal, I get about anywhere from 8 to 16 ounces of protein. I'll get 2 or 3 cups of vegetables. These vegetables, I like. What I like to do is I like to go to the grocery store. I like to buy like 8 bags of different vegetables. I throw them all in a pot and I'll boil them all up. So I'll make assorted vegetables. Get about 3, 4 cups, anywhere from 2 to 4 cups. Throw them in with my protein. They're extremely low calories. Okay, so like broccoli, cauliflower, green beans, corn, peas, carrots, Brussels sprouts, just name a few. And I'll literally just get a cup or two, throw them in my protein, have those for every meal. Now, I don't recommend eating carbs on a diet or like super high carb diet. Um, I think protein is more important. But if you do want to eat carbs, I highly recommend sweet potatoes. I recommend sweet potatoes because they are very satiating and there's lots of food for like very few calories. For example, 260 grams of 390 grams of sweet potatoes is 300 calories. However, 390 grams of sweet potato is a ton of food. So, for example, if you eat a pound of ground beef and 390 grams of sweet potato, that's 980 calories, but that's extremely filling. That's an extremely filling meal. I don't recommend you eat something like that in a cut. I would rather eat something like 12 ounces of fish or like 12 ounces of chicken and a sweet potato because it's lower calories. But yeah, these are all extremely satiating foods. So pretty much you can just Mix and match high protein with vegetables and sweet potato. You'll be feeling full. All right. Step four, to make losing fat more easy, I recommend intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is just when you eat within a allotted window of time. It prevents you from overeating, and it makes losing fat easier because you're only allowing yourself to eat within the window of time, and it pretty much just prevents you from overeating. And there's lots of benefits with intermittent fasting. So, like for example, if you do cardio in a fasted state, you'll burn more calories. What I recommend doing is a 16-hour fast, 8-hour eat window. You can do whatever you want. You can do 12-hour fast, 12-hour eat. You can do 20-hour fast, 4-hour eat, whatever you want. But I found 16-8 to be the easiest. So what I do is I wake up about 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. every morning. I don't have my first meal until about 12 p.m. Have my last meal at about 8 p.m. Okay, that's not the schedule I'm following right now, but that's if I'm trying to lose weight, that's what I do. All right, so I eat between 12 p.m. 8 p.m. I don't have any food between 12 p.m. before 12 p.m. I don't have any food after 8 p.m. Now, there's a caveat to this. You can have black coffee before you eat any food at 12 p.m. because black coffee doesn't count. I forget the science behind it, but black coffee is fine before you have your first meal. All right. I highly recommend eating intermittent fasting. Now, at first, you might be starving, especially if you go 6, 8 hours without eating after being awake. But your body will eventually adjust to it. Eventually, your body will realize, okay, I'm not going to eat until 12 p.m., so I won't be hungry until 12 p.m. Okay. Yeah, so I highly recommend intermittent fasting. And lastly, the routine. I follow it to lose 2 pounds of fat per week. I lifted 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. The schedule was as follows: Monday, shoulders and traps; Tuesday, lats and biceps; Wednesday, chest and triceps; Thursday, lats and shoulders, but lats and shoulders will be high volume; Friday, biceps, triceps; Saturday, um, legs and some chest. Um, and that routine is because I am and was training for a bodybuilding show, so I need to grow specific muscles in order to be competitive to win. With that being said, I also did cardio 6 days per week. I highly recommend cardio. Not only is doing cardio increase your maintenance calories, it's great. It feels awesome. It's great for your cardiovascular health. It's great for your heart health. Doing cardio allows you to live longer. You'll feel better. You eat more calories. The more exercise you do, your more maintenance calories you increase. So, for example, I run and cycle 6 days a week. I've been running for 15 years, or I've been running for 16 years, and I've been cycling for about 12. So just a part of who I am now. I also did lots of walking. So in my free time, especially if I'm losing weight in the summer when it doesn't get dark until 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. rather, I do lots of walking. Just clear my head. So if you can't run or cycle, just do what you can. I would recommend walking. I'd recommend trying to get 10,000 steps a day, or just however many steps a day that's possible. The more steps you take in a day, the higher your maintenance calories are. Now, a lot of you probably can't run or cycle. And if you were to start running and cycling, it would take you a long time to get to the point where you could do moderate volume without getting injured. So, with that being said, I recommend walking because it's low impact and relatively safe. And you can burn quite a few calories walking. The only problem is it takes lots of time to burn calories walking, but it is still super beneficial. Um, and with that being said, I ultimately, when it comes to cardio for weight loss, you want to do the cardio that you like the most and that you'll be most consistent with. So if that's Stairmaster, that's Stairmaster. If that's swimming, that's swimming. If that's walking, that's walking. Okay. And also, when you're taking into account your maintenance calories, these TDE calculators, they're a little antiquated, but they're still accurate. They're ultimately based on the number of steps you take every single day. All right. So if you work in a warehouse and you walk a lot, you're gonna burn your maintenance calories are gonna be a lot higher than someone who works a desk job who doesn't work a lot. Okay. So just keep in mind the amount of steps you take every single day. That's gonna affect your overall maintenance calories. That's all I've got for you guys today. If y'all are interested, I offer one-on-one coaching, how to bodybuild, how to get jacked, how to be a hybrid, how to bodybuild and run concurrently. Links in bio if you're interested. And if y'all like this video, like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.